Gas pipelines Nord Stream, it is situated on the Baltic Sea's Russian coast, travels through the Baltic Sea and then reaches the German coast. The Nord Stream is made up of two pipelines. Nord Stream 1 was finished in 2011 and connects Lubmin near Greifswald, Germany to Vyborg, Russia. Nord Stream 2 connects Astaluga in Leningrad, Russia to Lubmin, Germany and was finished in September 2021 because they deliver energy in the form of natural gas to Europe via Germany. These twin pipelines are crucial. The twin pipelines together can carry up to 110 billion cubic meters of gas to Europe each year, and they can do so for at least 50 years. These two pipelines cross the exclusive economic zones of numerous nations, including those of Russia, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Germany. They are owned and managed by a state-owned energy corporation in Russia called Gazprom. Russian gas supplies to various European nations, including Germany, France, and the Netherlands, were cut off last month. Around mid-June, Finland, Denmark, Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, Slovakia, etc. So the United States had threatened to impose sanctions on Russia's Nord Stream 2 pipeline. However, the United States was very cautious with the sanctions. It did not say that it would put a ban on the entire pipeline. Instead, it said that it would only target the Russian shipping company responsible for the pipeline installation in the Baltic Sea bed. The underlying causes include: first, the United States didn't want to offend Russia by imposing sanctions on the entire project because if it had done so, Russia would have cut off the gas flowing from the top pipeline, giving it leverage over Europe in March. The second is that it was only completed in September 2021, and as a result, gas is not currently traveling via the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which is pipeline number 2. It's as if a selling has no value without a buyer, similar to how a client is nothing without a seller. The West was attempting to use diplomacy with Russia. This Russian-Ukrainian war has been going on for 5 months, and there is no sign of an end in sight. Rather than sitting down with Russia to negotiate, the United States is continuously providing military aid and equipment to Ukraine, prolonging the conflict. In addition, the United States is increasing Russia's perception of the target by inviting Sweden and Finland to join NATO, demonstrating that the West is not backing down from its involvement in the conflict. Russian behavior is also not indicating any signs of waning. Now that Russia has planned everything out, the fight in Ukraine will continue throughout the winter, just in time for Europe to begin to freeze as Moscow cuts off the gas supply. Russia began to cut back on its gas shipments to Europe in the middle of June because it was aware that Canada had been sent a gas turbine that it wanted back. However, even if Russia made a polite request, the West was not likely to heed its request. So Russia began cutting back on its gas shipments to Germany. German politicians claimed in mid-June that reducing the supply of gas was not due to the return of equipment. Instead, they claimed that Russia was exploiting this situation and extorting money from Europe. However, the West is now expecting leniency from Russia despite not giving it any breathing room and repeatedly threatening to expand NATO to the east. If two superpowers are adamant, diplomacy is the best course of action. Russia has discovered a market in the east. The BRICS meeting just took place and the North-South link is almost complete. Why would it continue to offer oil and gas at the cheap price so that the West cannot exert influence over the Russian economy? Russia has, however, discovered a market in the east after sending its first consignment to India over the north-south link last month. The gas pipelines from Russia to Europe will cause an economic and political crisis in Europe in the upcoming winter because to run the European economy, they need electricity power and energy. Natural gas is used by several high-end industries like glassmakers, steel manufacturers. They are already facing higher costs and they are slowing the European economy. So, Europe is going to look for alternatives, likely asking Norway to supply oil and gas or going to the Middle East. To satisfy European demand, Australia, the West is approaching the Middle East, China and some Central Asian nations, while the United States and Canada are on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Germany is also desperately trying to restart its coal-fired power plant. So basically, the European climate policy and their focus on renewable energy are all going in the same direction. Given how critical the situation is, German Vice Chancellor Robert Habeck pleaded with its nation to cut back on gas use so that the nation could fill its storage tanks in time for the upcoming winter. Russia is under pressure from Western economic sanctions, and on the other side, Russia is exerting pressure on Europe and extracting that economic loss even though Ukraine refuses to sit down and negotiate with Russia. The West continuously supplies Russia with weapons and money and has imposed so many sanctions that they have literally hurt the Russian economy by using Ukraine even though Europe is experiencing an energy crisis and Ukraine is on the verge of total destruction. Ukraine is disappointed with Canada and is pleading with it not to give Russia the gas turbine. Germany and the United States are not going to listen to the president of Ukraine. Instead, he needs to surrender and save life because Ukraine is already gone and never coming back. Even India has been urging Ukraine to engage in negotiations with the Russian Federation since day one. But we all know who is in charge: the US government and European leaders. Therefore, if power outages occur in Europe during the winter, the negative effects will be industrial shutdowns and cutbacks, which will lead to high unemployment, inflation, and possibly a global recession. Trust me when I say that the situation in Europe will be very similar to a country that has been sanctioned, because the main objective of any sanction is to cause an economic crisis. And whenever there is an economic crisis, there will be unemployment. Therefore, this winter will see numerous leadership changes in many European nations if Western countries are attempting to overthrow the Russian government by doing all of this. Following the Russian-Ukrainian war, as we all have seen, there has been an increase in oil costs, which has led to an increase in the price of food in nearly every country. The Boris Johnson government raised taxes by claiming that the additional revenue would be used to pay for health and social services. As a result, opposition leader Keir Starmer of the Labour Party immediately seized the opportunity to publicly accuse the government of choosing to raise taxes on working people. It is a typical neo-communist action, albeit there are other factors as well. The point is that if this can happen in the UK, it is quite likely that it will also happen in many other European nations due to tax increases and high living expenses. So guys, this was for today. Give us your thoughts on this in the comment section, and if you appreciate our content, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with your family and friends. We will meet you soon in a new video. Thank you. Jai Hind.